ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. Some questions often asked about Kriya proper and many times asked people, because genuine questions. The Kriya proper breathing is a nose breathing or a mouth breathing? Because some people teach to, some organization teach to breathe through mouth, that is why the confusion has come. We have learned from our tradition to breathe through nose, not through mouth. Mouth breathing is only recommended when you have to have a cooling effect on your physical body, like Sitali, Sadanto, Sitkari Pranayama. In summer season, in tropical areas, mouth breathing is never recommended in a cold area or in cold climate. And also mouth breathing is normally recommended in any situation, because as we know that a sick person breathes through mouth and is fed through nose. I have never come up in scriptures anywhere while it is recommending mouth breathing for such pranic awareness, for arousing the prana to pass through the Sushumna channel up to the Ajna or Sahasrara. It is a nose breathing, not a mouth breathing. Then some other people ask whether, because they say that our teachers told us to breathe through neck. That is a not a wrong thing, but maybe the teacher was not able to explain properly. What we do actually is gently lock the chin. It is not totally like Jalandhara, but partial Jalandhara. So what will happen? Your glottis and trachea will be contracted. And if your glottis and trachea is contracted, then there will be a resonance while inhaling and while exhaling, due to breath resistance. Breath can come up with sharpness and go down with sharpness, and that is why a partial chin lock has been done, or we can say partial Jalandhara has been done in Kriya proper practice. That is one thing. Another thing is, so that is why it from the outside seems like Ujjayi Pranayama, but it is not Ujjayi Pranayama. This is Kriya proper, or what we say Kriya, because what is most important here is moving the attention from base of the spine to the top, and then moving from the attention from top to the base along with inhalation and exhalation. So with inhalation, one has to move attention from Muladhara to Sahasrara, and along with exhalation, one has to move attention from Sahasrara to Muladhara. Another question which is frequently asked, because in a new age, many yoga schools, Hatha yoga schools, there are many yoga schools now because they are doing for health purpose, and it is a very good commercial venture. They teach sectional breathing, like abdominal breathing, thoracic breathing, and upper lobar breathing. When what happens, they do the abdominal breathing, they contract and expand the abdomen. In thoracic breathing, it is contracting and expanding the chest cavity. In upper lobar breathing, it is the cervical region, from where they inhale and where they exhale. Now many questions people ask, what Kriya breathing is? Is it abdominal or thoracic or upper lobar? It is all. It is the total breathing. when, as I have said, that in a Kriya breathing, we inhale 6 times more than the tidal breathing. In tidal breathing, we are taking 500 cubic centimeter of air inside and throwing 500 cubic centimeter of air outside. But in Kriya breathing, we increase gradually from 500 cubic centimeter up to 3000 cubic centimeter, whereas the capacity of our lungs is 5000 cubic centimeter. So, if we do simply abdominal breathing, we will not be able to. If you do simply thoracic breathing, we will not be able to. If you do simply upper lower breathing, we will not be able to. So, it is a total breathing. So, what happens? When one exhales long and deep, as I said, there is gentle chin lock. Then what will happen? With exhalation, there will be contraction of all the 3 sections. With inhalation, there will be expansion of all the 3 sections. But the practitioner is not concerned about this expansion or contraction as now they are doing in New Age yoga schools. We are only concerned about moving attention from base of the spine to top and from the top to the base of the spine. You are not concerned with this, but this will happen passively. Then some question people ask that in traditional Hatha Yoga people teach Jalandhara, Uddiyana and Mulabandha. So, are these things done in a Kriya breathing? This is also a very good valid question, because these 3 bandhas, Mulabandha, Uddiyana and Jalandhara, are described in many yogic scriptures, and they have a very good importance in Hatha Yoga practices. In Yoga Kundalini Upanishad, in Dhyana Bindu Upanishad, all these things are described. So, what we do here actually in a Kriya Yoga practice, in a Kriya proper, these things are done but not actively, only passively. When one makes a long and extended exhalation, what will happen? His abdominal recti muscles will contract, but not contracting that much as one does in active Hatha Yoga classes. His anal sphincter muscle will come up, will contract, but not actively as done in Hatha Yoga classes. What happens? These 3 bandhas, Mulabandha, Uddiyana and Jalandhara, has given much importance in Hatha Yoga because of arousing the prana, what is called as a Kundalini. But what happens here? These are to be done under the supervision, always under the supervision of an expert guru. Otherwise, it may, due to sudden arousal of prana, what they called the sudden arousal of Kundalini, then the practitioner, the sadhaka, is not able to control them, not able to have mastery over them, and then serious physical elements and mental conditions arise, they are not able to control. But in Kriya practice, what happens? Since these are important, these things are done, but in a passive manner, not in an active manner. Means while you exhale, your abdominal rectus muscle is contracting, your anal sphincter muscle is coming up with contraction, and you are following mild Jalandhara due to gentle chin lock. So, all the 3 locks are done, but mildly, not very actively. All these 3 locks are done in a passive manner. So, there is not sudden arousal of energy, so not sudden arousal of a prana or sudden arousal of a Kundalini. It happens slowly when your body is prepared. That is why all these things are mild. With exhalation, contraction of abdominal recti muscle, contraction of anal recti muscle. With inhalation, relaxation of abdominal recti muscle, relaxation of anal sphincter muscle, but these in a mild manner, not in a very strong manner, these in a very smooth manner. And what is important is the practitioner is not concentrating on these things, he is simply concentrating on the movement of prana from Muladhara to Sahasrara and Sahasrara to Muladhara. These things go on happening, but in a very smooth manner, not in a forceful manner. These are the actually breathing techniques we follow in Kriya Proper 1 technique. So, mild Jalandhara, mild Uddiyana, mild Mulabandha, but attention inside the spine along with the breath. Breathing with gently chin lock and breathing through nose. This is what is to be kept in mind in practicing Kriya Proper 1. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.